Hey, what's up, you guys? So last week I did a video about spell cards, banned spell cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! That I feel like could possibly return and fit within the format now as opposed to when they were banned. I also did one for monsters. It's on Galactic Gods channel. Links to both of those in the description and probably annotations too. So today I'm going to finish this segment up with some trap cards that I think could possibly come back. As always, feel free to disagree. It's just my opinion. I don't think I'm an idiot, so I mean, I have some sort of justification for these, but I'm also not like pro player extraordinaire. I haven't like tested everything and like, anything like that. I have like an uppity like demeanor for these decisions, so hopefully I don't. So yeah, here we go. We're gonna jump right in the trap. So let's do this. So the first card is Imperial Order. Now I know what you're thinking. This card's so banned. Yes, it's banned. But I think that, and somebody at my locals pointed this out a while back, Mason, there could actually be some balance to this card could bring to the game. Spells aren't especially prevalent in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. I mean, yes, like each archetype, or some archetypes have things like Tinky, but I think that Imperial Order might be a very interesting way to shift the format around and force people to run some different cards. Imperial Order is destructible whenever you feel like it, so whenever you don't want to pay 700, you can just have it be destroyed and then use your spells. So that's kind of the broken part, is that you can do that, lock your opponent out of spells, and then do what you like. But the thing about it is, I think that it would force people to want to run things like Dust Tornado more, and running Dust Tornado isn't like a bad thing. You'd probably, you'd have to come to a conclusion of whether or not you want to, like, say, main deck Dust Tornado if your opponent's main decking Imperial Order. And I think a lot of decks would main deck Imperial Order or try to tech it in. Decks that don't really need spells, maybe Mermails and things like that, and Geargia maybe. And with only one Imperial Order, you won't necessarily see it every game. When you do see it, it's a lot. But how many spells are you even locking down? Like Dark Hole and I guess Duality? I mean, yes, I guess they can't MST it, but that's why I'd say you get to run Dust Tornado, which would kind of open people's eyes to running different cards. And to me, Dust Tornado takes a bit more, not a lot more, but a bit more thought to play than MST, because you get to set the card after, blah, blah, blah. So I think Imperial Order could work. I think that one Imperial Order could work. Multiple, of course not, but just one. I mean, it's not really searchable, it's not recyclable, so I don't think it's that bad. What do you guys think? The next card is everybody's favorite, Royal Oppression. So, yes, card's broken, blah, duh, it's on the ban list. But, the game's kind of come to a point, like we've gone through points where like people were begging for Oppression back because the special summons were just getting out of hand. But the thing with Oppression, and here's a problem that's, that I feel is what makes Oppression ban worthy, it isn't the fact that anti-meta decks are going to be running it and just stopping all your special summons for free, because I mean 800 life points isn't really any cost. It's the fact that the top tier decks are usually able to use them, and like it's unfair when the top tier deck sets up, goes off, and then flips Oppression on you, you can't come back. I think though that at one, just a single Oppression, it would probably be staple in every deck, but right now the game is, there are monsters in the game that can pretty easily deal with Oppression. Brotherhood of the Firefist Bear obviously doesn't really revolve around special summoning, it just revolves around Tinky searching, so you can still generate advantage and make plays with things like that. Also, Abyss Pike, Mermail Abyss Pike can pitch things like heavy infantry and just pop the Oppression. A lot of decks seem like they can manage while Oppression's on the field. Also, we have 3 MSTs now, and if Oppression were around, it might even force people, like I said with Imperial Order, to run more back row hate like Dust Tornado, to make sure that you get rid of that single Oppression if it ever shows up. I mean, I guess the idea is radical. The card's of course banned for a reason, but I just think that it could be okay. Like, we've reached a point where there are more than enough options to deal with this. People are maining trap stun. People have been testing out things like 7 tools. There are outs to this card. At one copy, I don't think this card would be so game breaking that it would just destroy things. Like any trap, it's not really searchable. or recyclable. So once it's gone, and you might not even see it in some games. So what do you guys think? The next card is Solemn Judgment. I'm not a huge Solemn fan, but I don't really think that at 1 it was doing too much of a game disbalance. Yes, it's a say no card, but you don't always see it. It sucks to have to play it early game. It sucks when somebody baits you and forces you to play it. And so I don't know. I mean, honestly, I sometimes get the feeling the warning is a more broken card in a way. Solemn Judgment it seldom seems to just outright dictate a game for me. I mean, back in its prime, I see Solemn was such a crazy card, but that was because decks were able to make less plays in a turn than decks now. Nowadays, most decks can do one thing, and if it gets negated, they can just do another thing, and if that gets negated, they still usually have a third thing they can do. So, I don't know. I think that we've gone through a period where so many power cards exist in Yu-Gi-Oh! There was that time when we had, Reborn Heavy and Dark Hole all in the same format, and I mean, we've had multiple power cards in the same format. I don't think that it's so unreasonable. I don't know, just a single Solemn Judgment. It changes games, but I mean, that's Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, there are a lot of cards like that, so I don't know. I think that it could be okay at 1. That might not seem like a very justified reason, but and the last and final card is Trap Dust Shoot. Yes, I played in a format where Trap Dust Shoot got really stupid, and I also understand that Mind Crush is a 3, but so much searching these days, I just don't feel like it really matters. Tenki and everything seems to have its own Rhoda, Heretic Seal and all that stuff. Would it be that bad? If you open with Dust Shoot, yes, it's broken. Yes, that's information you get on your opponent. Yes, you're pretty likely to win that game. But if you don't open with Dust Shoot, then you don't open with Dust Shoot. And when you draw it late game, it's oftentimes not going to be dead. Heavy's not around, so people are setting all their spells and traps, so they don't necessarily always have a large hand. Yes, blah, it punishes conservative play, and people don't like that. But it's a single Dust Shoot, guys. I mean, it'll be okay. Every deck can run it, so it's not like one particular deck gets a lot more benefit from it than any other. I mean, sure, Dark World maybe, but Dark World's just broken and degenerate anyway, so I think it could come back. I enjoyed Trap Dust Shoot. I didn't even mind when it was used against me. I just kind of accepted it as a part of the game, and I guess I was happy when it got banned, but I don't think that it's so unreasonable that it can't come back. I don't know. So that concludes this video. Those are some traps that I think could come back. Like with the spells, there aren't all too many because a lot of them are just outright broken, but I think that with a lot of these traps, there's a little bit more justification than the spells because there's only one of these traps. You have to set them before you use them. There are just outs to them, like MST at 3. And I don't know. Feel free to disagree. I'm not like Jesus of Yu-Gi-Oh! And have everything, you know. Anyway, you know what I mean. You feel free to disagree. It's just a video. So, thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Subscribe for more great Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. And follow me on social networks. I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you enjoyed this little bit. And that'll be all. Bye, guys.